Sorry about that. It was probably good that I got cut off because this would have dragged on probably for a lot longer than it needed to. But I just finished these. My husband called, so that's why I was interrupted before. But I wanted to show you. So we've got these all jarred now, and they are cooling, so they are nice and getting nice and solid. One of them, this one you can see, is still not quite cool. So it's a little bit more liquidy. And so then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to strain these last four um, jars. Two of them, one of them is plantain oil. Here we go. And the other two are, the other three rather, are tinctures, as I mentioned in part one. So the reason I wanted to come back in is I didn't really finish my, let's move it back a little bit. I think it was over here. Weren't it? Oh, that's not going to work. Well, we'll just tilt this up until I'm done talking. And then, so the reason that I wanted to come back is because I didn't finish talking about how I put in and what I put in. So I put in calendula oil. I did put a little bit of this amazing St. John's wort oil in there. That's a first for me. Vitamin E oil, lemongrass essential oil, rosemary essential oil, and lavender essential oil. And these are the companies I typically buy from. This one is called Cliganic. So that's what I buy from now. That's a new one for me. This one is Oracasha, as is this one. And I used to be able to get those in my natural grocery store right there in Steamboat Springs. So that's why I use that brand. You can see actually all of these are that same square bottle kind of Oracasha brand. But Windermere is another brand that I use, and Now is the other brand that I use. So I know that a lot of you probably use the companies that are network marketing based, like doTERRA is one of them, but I can't think of the other one. It's two names. But anyway, and those are fine. Doesn't matter. It's like whatever you resonate with. For me, I don't resonate with those two. One of them is, I think, just way, way, way too over processed, and the other one is I just think it's just a little bit too expensive. And I know that when they say it's more expensive, it's a better quality, or it's higher concentrate, and so you need less of it. I don't find that. I don't find that I like the aroma of it being more intense and needing to use less. So I don't mind paying a little bit less and using a little bit more, if that makes sense. Because I like the strength of it. I'm used to it. It works. Like the product works. So it's like when something's broke, don't try and fix it, right? So that's the case with that. And then the other piece that I wanted to bring up is what it's good for. So I mentioned that it's good for the salve that I made is good for rashes and stings and cuts and bruises, really good for bruises, hemorrhoids, acne, hangnail or ingrown toenails, um, sunburned lips, chapped lips, um, rashes. I said that I think already. It's not great for psoriasis. It never really worked on my psoriasis, but it does work on this little tiny, tiny piece of eczema I have right here. So I use it on that, and that's all I can think of right now. Not super deep cuts because it's comfrey. You don't want to use it on really deep cuts. You want to use it when it's starting to either completely form over underneath, or it's not a very deep cut, because comfrey will heal what's underneath and then heal what's on top rather, and what's underneath will still be unhealed, but it won't have any air, and so you know what happens then, right? You get some rottage underneath. Okay, so let's finish this process. Let's pull up some gloves again and strain. I'm going to strain into this wide mouth jar. And I still have that bowl and strainer over here. And I already talked about what I am anticipating using the plantain oil for in the other video. But I will probably add it to that all healing salve that I make. as well as the rash salve that I'm going to make with the jewel weed that I harvested from the property as well. So one of the things that I'm trying to do um, and have succeeded mostly, especially for the stuff that's medicine that I'm making for other people, is use only the plants that are growing here on Shambhala. And for me, that's just because of the integrity. Like, I know what I'm putting into the soil, nothing. I know that we're creating a permaculture and kind of symbiotic relationship with the land here. So the plants have that language already encoded in them, right? And the energy of the plants are just filled with all of the love and everything that we give them on a daily basis. And the rain from here, the water, so I know where the water comes from. So again, this is plantain, all harvested from here early spring, when plantain is actually like it's at its very, very best, is early spring, just like with dandelion. Some plants, I mean, you can harvest plantain all year, but it's really the first one to kind of come back with violet, those first two. So I harvested both of those early season. Mostly it's just easy because then okay, I'm spreading this out and I'm not harvesting everything all at once, right? I could harvest now with the plantain for sure. But I actually also do feel like the energy is different when depending on your season, right? So if this plantain oil, it has that like renewed spring energy, um, then that's the added benefit for the salve. What I'm doing here is just manually straining it. I was saying in the other video, so go look for that. It says part 1, same Herbalism working sesh. When I was making the comfrey salve, I was talking about how I like to strain the comfrey oil with a apple press. So it's cool. I used to do it all by hand, and my hands aren't that great anymore. Like, they don't love this squeezing. And so the comfrey is a lot harder to squeeze the oil out of than this plantain and the St. John's wort that I've already squeezed. So in the future, I probably would wait. And this jar is full, and I actually was thinking I may not have another jar. So I might stop after this last little squeeze here and put the rest of it through the strainer with the comfrey, because that is just so much easier. But I want to fill this jar. So again, if you missed the part about what this plant is, this is plantain. It grows everywhere, and I'm straining it to put, this is oil, I'm straining it to put into a salve. I just compost here on the farm. We've got compost, so I just compost this extra leaf matter, and it just goes right into that compost pile for us, which is great. The oil, of course, is not terrible, but it takes a little longer to break down. But other than that, it's fine. It's going into Mother Earth. So I don't need those anymore. And where's my plantain? So this already has a label because that's what this was. Actually, no, I'm going to save that one. I'm going to make a new label for this guy. But the comfrey and the plantain, this is the comfrey, big one, still half full. Gonna have to use the apple press for that one, but I needed 2 cups for the salve that I made and showed at the beginning part of this, that I made in the other video. So we're gonna run those through the apple press in the absolute near future. And for now, we're just gonna go ahead and put this clean lid on top and label it plantain oil for salve. You can also put these oils right onto your skin. You don't have to mix them with beeswax, as I did, for any kind of healing. So the comfrey is so good. The comfrey is, the Native Americans call it knit bone, and it's really a master healer. It's like quartz is in the crystal world, like comfrey is to everything, it feels like, in the external body world. It's just good for a lot of different things. So I love to use it in our salves, and I love to grow it and pick it and strain it and do all the things that we do with it. And The plantain oil I'm new to, and the St. John's wort oil I'm new to. And I showed this one in the other. I just strained this one in the other video too. You can tell it's like really a difference there. This is the same oil. This is olive oil. And this is with the St. John's wort in it, and this is the plantain. And the comfrey is going to be a little bit more green even than the plantain. So, all right, the next thing that we're doing is we're straining tinctures. And I've got goldenrod, which I talked about in the other video, good for so many things. So again, go back and watch that. Allergies, asthma, I showed that I harvested and made oil out of it last year, or tincture rather, out of it last year. My hands are so oily. And I still have some from last year's tincture in grain alcohol. This one is vodka. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it open like I was the other jar. In which case we'll move down the line and I'll wait till Craig comes home tomorrow to strain this. But I did want to strain this today or tomorrow because we're on the new moon, and I started this process. Oh, did it come? No, it just slipped. I built this one in the new moon. Oh, none of these are going to come off. Ooh, that one did. Sweet. So that's our goldenrod in brandy. And I've got these jars here. And my little funnel. And you just strain off the matter, just like you did with the oil. So this is, goldenrod is good for your immune health, big time. Also your inflammation and gut health too. So this is, oh yeah, that's brandy. So I'm going to put it in the bowl though, so that if I have any spillage, we don't go everywhere. All right, so, and goldenrod is such a beautiful yellow friend, ally, that blooms this time of year. Just concentrating on the last bit here so it doesn't all fall out. Here we go. So I'll have to press that to get that out of there as well. But then what I do is I'll just cap it. Hey guys, I see a couple more people watching today. And this is last year's goldenrod, so I'll read that to you again since I've got some viewers. Anti-inflammatory, antifungal, antiseptic, antispasmodic, expectorant, relaxant, and stimulant. And what I like to do with these is I'll make myself either a combo of these multiple simples. So for instance, this one is elderberry, burdock, ginger, rosemary, and oh no, just combo says. So those 4 herbs in one. And I will make fizzy water, and we have a fizzy water maker. So I'll make bubbly soda water, and I'll just take a spoonful of this and put it in that bubbly water. So it's like a flavored mocktail at night. So, hey from Nashville, I just saw you. Hope you guys are doing okay over there and you didn't get hit by the storm too much. So, love me some goldenrod. That one is so good for all of the, here, I'll read this too. Bitter, colds, flus, liver, kidneys, inflammation, asthma, hemorrhoids, spasms, diabetes, and digestion. So for me, I'm using it for the inflammation for my liver and kidneys because I've had psoriasis most of my life, and those two are connected. I don't have asthma or allergies, but I will use it for cold prevention. That's why I'm combining it with the burdock and the elder. This one was grain alcohol. This one is brandy. So I have found that I like the brandy better. That's why it's not going on all the way. It's not straight. There we go. I like the brandy flavor better, and then that way when I put it in my drink at night, it tastes more like a mocktail, you know, like I'm having a little naughty drink, because I don't drink. So you can make it in vinegar, you can make it in vodka. I'm just seeing how much is left in there, and I might, oh no, that's grain, so I won't do that. Yeah, I'm gonna get another little jar, I think, like this size, because I think that's all that's left. I'm trying to see what's left. So that's the brandy version. There it is, the lid. of our goldenrod. I also have, I said this in the other video, but I'll show you guys. I couldn't get the lids off, so I can't strain these right now until Craig comes home. Oh, I lie. I got that one. Okay, so St. John's wort. I do want to show you this one because it's so red. The oil was like this too. The flowers are yellow. Like, love that chemical reaction. Oh, that smells delicious. This one's brandy too, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I wish that you could see that. Let me try and put it to the light. No, you really can't see how red that is. Can you? But it's red. And same, I'm going to do the same. I have two more of these jars. And to me, it's a tincture, is a tincture, is a tincture. So we're just going to pour that sucker in there. And this is St. John's wort, also a really awesome ally. Lots of things St. John's wort is good for, but for me personally, inflammation as well. And just gladdening the heart. Like, I love that St. John's wort is just such a heart chakra kind of ally. So there's, oh, now you can maybe see. Oh yeah. Well, the jar is copper. I don't know if that's the jar or the color. It's probably the jar. But anyway, that's St. John's wort. Okay, so that's pretty much a wrap today. I'll show you everything that we made. So we made, and if you missed part of it, just go to the part 1. I had to get, my husband called and I had to take that call. So we've got the comfrey oil, comfrey salve, and I added St. John's wort oil to the first time I've ever done. So that's this St. John's wort oil. This is the one you can really see how red it is the oil. That's amazing. So we made salve, we strained our tinctures, and we strained our oils today as well. So that's a wrap on being an herbalist for a day. If you have any questions, post them below or go find me at andykennedyco.com, and I'll see you next time, guys.